Hello, with us today we have Snehal Patel, CEO of Greenwich LifeSciences. Snehal, you came all the way from Houston to be with us today. Thank you very much.
I'm very happy to be here.
Snehal, you recently launched your phase 3 clinical trial for your lead candidate designed to prevent breast cancer recurrences in patients who have previously undergone surgery. What can you tell us about this trial?
Well, the name of the trial is Flamingo-01, and it's a phase 3 trial for GP2, our 9 amino acid peptide of the HER2 protein. And we're going to mix it with GM-CSF and inject it intradermally. And this site that we're starting at is Baylor College of Medicine, the lead site, but we also have added Columbia and US Oncology. So these sites are activated, and they're screening patients, and hopefully very soon we'll be treating our first patient. So in addition to those sites, we have major hospitals all around the country that will also be participating in the trial, and we have 3 countries in Europe, large networks that will deliver hopefully half of the patients in our trial. So between all of those sites, we should treat about 500 patients and hopefully reproduce our phase 2 data where we saw no breast cancer recurrences in about 100 patients, and we followed them for 5 years.
Snehal, you've got that phase 3 trial underway. Great job. Now your team is turning to the pre-commercialization activities. Can you give us an overview of the strategy behind those activities, and indeed, what are some of the activities that you're undertaking?
Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to manufacture the drug, and we have to make it on a commercial scale and show the FDA that the quality of the product is acceptable for commercial distribution. The second thing we have to do is prepare all of the filings that we're going to be showing to the FDA for the clinical data, so we'll be communicating with them extensively. And then we have to think about how we're going to market the product globally. So we have a good strategy for the US and Europe, but there are so many other people around the world that we would like to deliver this solution to that we have to put more focus on the international aspects.
Snehal, how big is the market opportunity?
Well, breast cancer is one of the largest cancers globally, and there are about 3 million breast cancer survivors in the US. There are about 300,000 new breast cancer patients every year. So this market is very close to what you would expect for Herceptin, which is one of the largest antibodies sold by Genentech Roche. And we would expect to grow that market as we expand into some of the other cancers that also express the HER2 protein.
What milestones should investors expect in the next 6 to 12 months, Snehal?
Well, I think the most important thing is that we've started the trial, and that starts a whole bunch of other activities, such as we hope to increase our licensing discussions with big pharma, and it could be small regional pharmas that we license with. We're also hoping to be able to commercialize the drug in countries where there currently is no trial, so we're going to have to start talking to those countries, and in those countries we may strike partnership deals. There's going to be lots of data that's going to come out of this phase 3 trial that we can share with the public before we get to the pivotal data that would be the approvable data. And that data is going to start sometime towards the end of this year and throughout 2023. So we look forward to sharing that with investors and with patients. And lastly, and most importantly, is to connect patients to clinicians so they know where the trial is being conducted and they know how, if they're eligible, to approach clinicians. So part of this is going to be making the patients aware of where the drug is being, where the trial is being held.
Snehal, it's a cliche, but we have to say it. Managerial competence is one of the first questions people ask. Introduce us to your team, starting with yourself, please.
So my name is Snehal Patel. I'm CEO. I have a background in big pharma and Wall Street, and I've been a big investor in the company. I'm still a big investor in the company, and I've been doing that since the beginning. And our management team is basically very experienced in different functions, but we all overlap with each other, so we help create a better group of people that can handle all issues that arise. David McWilliams is the chairman. He's been CEO of 5 previous companies. 3 of them were public biotechs. Joe Dougherty is our chief medical officer. He's actually the medical monitor for the trial. So if there's any events with patients, then Joe will be contacted by the CRO or individual sites, and he'll be addressing any of the medical issues. And then we have Jay Thompson. She's the VP Clinical and Regulatory. She started CROs in the past, and when she started those CROs, she would do hundreds of trials. but this time she joined us full time to run this trial, and we have a CRO that reports to her. So she's basically the general of the clinical trial and will be making sure that everything is done with our knowledge before you end up with issues that sometimes companies have when they outsource everything. And then Chris Fischetti, she's our VP of Business Development, so she's helping us in out-licensing and reaching out to pharma companies at these conferences.
Snehal, we've covered a lot of ground here. Can you wrap it up into an essential value proposition? Why should investors take an interest in Greenwich LifeSciences right now?
Well, I think it's very simple. We've come a long way in bringing this product all the way close to the finish line, and we just need a little push. And we're going to be starting a trial where we may be able to stop the recurrence of metastatic breast cancer. And that's very meaningful to a lot of families and individuals who have been affected by breast cancer. It's part of what drives us every day. So our goal is not only to make our investors well off by appreciating the share price, but it's also to provide a solution to breast cancer patients where they can live a healthier life and a safer life, and they don't have to worry about the breast cancer coming back after all the trauma they've been through. So we really look forward to focusing on this phase 3 trial and making it a success.
As the brother of a sister who is a breast cancer survivor myself, Snehal, I wish you all the success in the world. Thank you very much for being with us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.